take it to the mall, oh. I'm not gonna stop, girl.
Hey, what's going on, listeners? It's your boy June. I'm here with a very special person. She's an entrepreneur, inspired businesswoman, and I have the pleasure with speaking with her this evening, well, afternoon. I'm sorry, and I allow her, to introduce herself.
Really? Okay. My name is Joanne Cuffy. You can call me Coach Joe, and I'm a life coach. I do a lot of things, but life coach is my focus right now. That's how I'm branding myself. That's what I want people to think of when they see me, when they meet me. And that's really the impression that I want to leave on everybody. Like, I'm not your financial coach, your budget coach. I'm not your personal trainer. I'm really after your heart and your mind. And all things are connected. So a healthy body, a healthy mind, they all go hand in hand. But I'm not concerned with your finances. I really just want you to be the best you. And that's my focus.
Okay, so like, what's the common situation like people bring to you when they, come to you for like your services or whatnot?
Okay, well, I specialize in healing, relationships, and communication, but mostly is healing. Like when I ask my clients, they're like, where do I start? And I'm like, well, tell me what was the thing that made you feel like, okay, I need to talk to somebody. And usually it's a breakup. And everybody is suffering from some type of relationship issues. Relationships is actually my favorite one to touch on, but a fun one for me is communication. Like when I see somebody book me for that, I'm like, I wonder I wonder what they going through, or, what they want to talk about. But it's usually when I get communications, it's people like trying to get over themselves or trying to like write that book or start that business, or they feel like they're not articulating themselves well and it's ending them in bad situations with friends and family. So that's where I come in. Like I love to communicate, I love to talk, I love to listen, and I love to understand. So it's perfect for me.
Okay. So like how did you get into that? Because I know of you previously, like you was into music. Like how you make that transition, into the
Well, okay, so life coaching is always something that I wanted to do, but I felt like I got to be famous first. I got to be rich. I got to be famous so people respect me. They know me. They'll listen to me. And so last year, I released a single, and I was like attempting to like do music again and be an artist. I really wanted to be a songwriter and producer, but it was cool. Like I got some opportunities, some unrealized, like some I didn't even tap into or want to deal with. But that wasn't what I was after for real. Like when I was doing music, I felt like I needed to be important and I was being somebody that I really wasn't. And life coaching is true to me. Like that's something I've always done. I'm the go-to, for all my friends, everybody who know me, they call me. And it's like when it comes to my passions, what do I love? What do I love to do? Is writing and speaking, talking, communicating. So I just started to take it seriously. It's like I've been doing it forever. I might as well get paid. And even though it's not about the money for me, it's never about the money, but this is just where my heart is. So instead of me taking the long route and doing everything, but I just decided to take this seriously. And it's the best fit for me. Like I'm happy.
Okay. So question, like you said, like relationships is basically your favorite, I guess, I guess thing to cancel. So like how like I've always had like the curiosity, like how does a therapist pretty much like give advice, and what if like they're going through personal situations too? Or like if they have like a stigma on certain things, like how do you differentiate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I'll start first with I'm a life coach.
I
I'm
mean,
not a therapist yet. I'm not a therapist yet, but there is a difference. I'm
okay.
actually in school to become a therapist, which I'll be a licensed marriage and family therapist because that's my niche. That's what my heart is, the family, restoring the family and children as well. Um, But with therapy, it's deeper. Life coaching, I could guide you with where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like your accountability partner. It's like, motivational speaker, and it's just for you and where you are. The difference with therapy is therapy, you can diagnose and prescribe. So when people are dealing with things like depression, or when I hear what they're going through and I know that it's deeper than just this relationship, it's some things I can't speak on because I'm not yet a therapist. But I feel like with me being a coach, I've been in therapy for 2.5 years, and that's the best investment I've made into myself. I feel like all coaches should be coachable, and even therapists consult with therapists. They see therapists because even they have to have somebody to unload on, you know what I'm saying? And it's real. Like, I get people asking me like, how do you become a life coach? And I'm like, you are a life coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's where your heart is, do that. It's people who need your voice, they need your message, they need your experience and all of that. But for me, when I'm talking to my clients and they're crying, and I know that I'm getting an actual breakthrough, that's serious business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really getting into somebody's heart, their mind, their soul. And these people, they look to me for the answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really walk the walk. I'm not doing anything that I'm telling people they shouldn't do. And that's what life coaching is. I just had a message come across my screen distracting me. But
Okay. So, like, I guess you pretty much answered my next question. Cause like I couldn't pretty much like, okay, what is what? Like, it sounded like the same thing to me.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, therapist and life coach. So to my understanding, so what you're saying is the life coach, you pretty much can't prescribe. You can pretty much like let them, you can pretty much like, in a sense, like insinuate, not really insinuate, but motivate in a sense, and also like, pretty much just give that ear.
God, yeah. And see, with mental health being my profession, something I'm actually pursuing, and I kind of just have it naturally, like, I get it. I know what you're going through. I know what it is. I can tell you some things that would help with your situation. But like I said, I can't diagnose. I can't be like, I think you're depressed. But I always urge my clients, especially when I know that it's deeper. It's from childhood. Like, this go deep. This ain't even about him. I'm sure you was in the same situation with the guy before him and the guy before him. You know what I'm saying? You're in a cycle. I always urge them, like, consider therapy. Like I said, I'm a coach, but I'm coachable. I seek knowledge. I'm always wanting to learn something new, listening to new information. Like, this is just what I do. And I'm not ashamed of that. Like, this therapy, 2.5 years, has been the best decision I ever made. And in our community, Black people, we're scared of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we've been made to feel like, I ain't crazy. I ain't going to no therapy. It's like, it ain't even about being crazy. You hurting, and it's deep. And what's going on inside of you is shining on the outside of you. There's no makeup. There's no wig. There's no designer that can cover up who you are. So I urge everybody. I just think it's something that's worth doing. It's worth every dime. And I'm 2.5 years in, and I have no plans on stopping. Like, my therapist now is like, our relationship is like big therapist, baby therapist. Like, he's grooming me, for this. And nobody wants to talk to perfect Patty, somebody that ain't been through nothing, somebody who don't know anything. So that's what I'm saying. With my clients, it's a real heart to heart. Like, there is no judgment. I tell them all the time, like, you felt the need to spend your money. I want you to get the most out of this. Don't worry about how I feel, because really, this ain't even about me. It's all about you. And for people who want to be a life coach, you have to understand this is servitude. This ain't popularity. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the likes. I'm not trying to look lit. I really want to serve people and help people. So it's all about the heart for me.
Okay. So I know it's like you probably deal with like a confidentiality situation, but you can give us, like, you can just skim the top. What was the craziest thing you had to pretty much listen to, if you had to just sum it up in a short story?
Well, it's not really crazy, but my first client was actually lesbian.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, even though that's not my lifestyle, and it was the same. That's the part that was shocking for me, is like, we might judge and we might think like, oh, I can't help this person, I can't relate, but she's super relatable. I'm relatable to her, and she said, I read through your blog post on the site that's my mentor that life/Joanne Cuffy, if anybody want to check that out. But she was like, I just felt like you would understand me. And she's one of my favorite clients. Like, when I see her come up in my email, I'm like, eh. But then when I don't hear from her, I'm like, I wonder what's going on. And she started the conversation every time. You're gonna be a little mad at me, and I'm like, I already know. But I don't know, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you getting into people's pain and trauma, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a casual thing, and everybody is not qualified to do that. It ain't even a matter of being certified or licensed. You're just not good at it.
Right.
And some people, are better than others. And I could say, like, I would do it for free. You know what I'm saying? I still charge the lowest on the site, and I get booked, but I just feel like it's not for me. It's not about me. It's not about me getting more money per person. I really want to make sure I'm in position to help people.
Facts. So we're gonna get to the good stuff. All right. So, okay. So, like, say for instance, right? Like, now, I've talked to my fellow, male counterparts, and also, converse with a lot of, females too. And we pretty much have the same to say about each other. So it's like, it seems like now the roles has been switched. Like, to me, it seems like the women are pretty much doing what men been doing to them for years. You know what I'm saying? It seems like now men are more vulnerable now, and women are more of they're doggish.
Right.
Not to offend anybody out there.
Everybody's a savage.
Everybody is savage. It's like, in my opinion, I don't think, like, when somebody tells another person that they love each other, they love them, it doesn't connect the same, or it doesn't have the same meaning anymore. What is your intake on that?
I think first and foremost, and this is like a cliche, but it's so real. You can only love somebody to the degree that you love yourself. And see, people say self-love, and is this movement with no movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, people confuse self-care with self-love, and you can bubble bath all you want. You can retail therapy all you want, but your brokenness is measured by what you allow people to do to you. So I say that to say, it starts with loving yourself first, and then you can understand what it's like to share that love with another person. And we are all skipping self-love. Everybody just wants to feel complete, and they want to look lit, and they want all of the benefits of doing work they haven't done yet. And so when people ask me, why am I single? It's like, what you mean? I have no choice. Like, I'm not where I want to be ideally. Now, I'm a great partner. I feel like I'm a great partner, and I do the work to make sure that I am a great partner. But until I see my partner fully realized, I can wait, because I know what's going on out here. Like, I coach people for real. Like, I have friends, I have family. I see what's happening. The climate of relationship is horrible, and nobody wants to take the time to stop and do the work. And we want people to fix us, and it's a lot of misinformation about relationships. Opposites attract to a degree, but they've even done studies that prove it doesn't attract, and it doesn't stay connected long term.
Okay.
So each alone is wrong.
Okay, so when you say the work, for everybody who's clueless on what the work means, what do you mean by the work? Elaborate on what the work is.
The work is self-love. And when I say self-love, because one of my clients was confused about this the other day, I was like, you know, when you reach that level of self-love, you're gonna be so cold. And she was like, I mean, but I'm already cold now. I feel like that about myself. And I'm like, this don't have nothing to do with your looks or your confidence and your accolades and your accomplishments. But how do you treat yourself? How do you allow other people to treat you? You know what I'm saying? That's raw. That's cold. That's self-love for real. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Because I was just thinking about, you know, what we were saying to each other, but it's like people really don't understand how important it is, like that self-talk, the things you listen to, your triggers. You get what I'm saying? Like even people who are prone to anxiety, that's a symptom of something going on. That's not to be suppressed. That's not to be denied. You need to tap in and see what's really going on. But we won't even do that for ourselves. How can you do that for your partner? You know what I'm saying? Like a relationship is when you are whole and you have enough of you to share. You can't show up at 75% because you're going to need 25 a day. 75, that, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be two whole people and we operate in that 200%, period. And if you don't start there, it's bound to crumble. Something is gonna go wrong. Like even people get comfortable with passive aggressiveness. That's violence in a relationship. And it's, oh, I was just joking. It's not funny. It's not a joke. And that can really tear down what could be a beautiful relationship. It'd be the small things, and we overlook that because we just gotta have somebody. But if you don't have you can't have nobody.
Facts.
So for me, that's where self-love starts. It's really what's going on with me. How am I affected by my parents' relationship or other relationships around me? What am I comparing myself to? And honestly, if you don't fully, truly know yourself, you don't know what you need. You don't know what you want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, this could go so deep. You know, I could talk forever about just self-love first. I don't need to talk about your partner. I'm talking to you and your bad habits. And people feel like when they're not the aggressor in the relationship, that they're not the problem. But you don't have to be aggressive to be problematic. Being passive is just as problematic as being aggressive.
Yeah.
Not speaking up for yourself and not being assertive. Those are relationship issues. But because you ain't rah, you feel like you ain't do nothing wrong. That's not self-love. Self-love is speaking up when you don't like something, expressing yourself when you're feeling uncomfortable. But I'm telling you, if you ain't speaking to a whole person, you're not going to get all of what you could get.
Facts.
That's not up for debate, though.
Okay. So, like, explain this logic. Okay, typically it can go this way with women. They will pretty much go after the guys that, or cater more to the guys that treat them wrong or like kind of neglect them from what they seek from them versus them taking in the guy that want the good guy per se, like, oh, the guy that want to do everything right. Why do you think that's so?
Let me make sure I gather myself, because I too used to have that issue. I think what we consider the nice guy, we consider the weaker man because he's not aggressive, and also culture plays a big part in that. Everybody is after the rapper and the athlete, and they are able to do some of the things they do because of what they have and who they are, which is not reality. But men in the regular world take that seriously too. And I don't know, that's one side of it. I think some women are looking for the protection of a man, so the nice meek guy doesn't feel like he could protect her, you know, he's too nice. Because at the core of every woman, most women, we still looking for a dad. Especially when you didn't have that and it wasn't solid, your inner child is still searching for that in every partner that you meet. And unfortunately, the nice guy, like, I'll speak for myself, without saying too much. I used to think that when a guy was possessive and jealous, that was love. Like, oh, he care. But even though it didn't feel good, that was still a need that I had to feel like, oh, I'm protected. He cares. He don't want me to go nowhere. I was just misinformed about what love is. So a lot of it is just misinformation about the function of a relationship. We
Right.
don't know what that is. And like they say, if you don't know the purpose of something, you bound to abuse it. And it happens with relationships. Like you don't know the purpose of a wife, she's probably not being treated like a wife. If you don't know the function of a man, he's probably not being treated like a man. And the same thing with alcohol, you can abuse that. Sex, you can abuse that. But when you know how to use it correctly, it could be a good thing.
Facts.
So like I said from the beginning, it's a lot of misinformation about what relationships are. But nobody want to stop. We just want to keep doing what we've been doing, and we're getting what we've been getting.
Yeah.
This relationship ain't worse. I mean, this generation ain't worse than the last generation. It's a cause of the last generation.
Yeah. And it seems like we're like in a cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't expect situations to last long anymore. So it's like, okay, all right, this is a talking phase. We get a little bit serious. When it get real, it ends right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think the average person probably think that a situation ship, so to speak, would last probably like what, about 6 months to a year?
I say 3.
About 3 months?
I've never really seen or maybe I'm just speaking from experience, but 3 months is kind of when the person starts to unravel. And that's another thing we get wrong, starting from not understanding the purpose of a relationship. So what people say the most, I ain't looking for nothing serious. I just want somebody I can be in a relationship with without being in a relationship with. You already abusing relationships. You weaponizing relationships right there. But then, especially speaking from a woman's standpoint, you can't love me good without me catching feelings. That's just me. Like, I'm not a man. I can't just stick and move like that. Most women can't, but we pretend. So now we are savage. Now we don't want a man. Now we don't need a man. We don't want nothing serious. And it's a lie. It's a lie. And that's why that is the danger of situationships. Everybody lying.
Yeah. So, and it's like, it's crazy because like, I think that, I believe that women are the source of all type of influence. And I believe is if women were to be like, you know what, let's cut this shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do a hard reset on everything. Okay, we all know that we want the same thing, but we going about it the wrong way.
Right.
I believe that for one, y'all will take us more serious if y'all change the pretty much the spectrum of how we dress, because now the average man dresses like a woman. So y'all physically looking at us like I don't want to curse too much, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all looking like, oh, this nigga, he's not, you know what I'm saying? So how we dress, our mannerisms is off, our priorities as far as like, I would say within like a relationship, I think we value our relationship with our homeboys more. We invest more in our homeboys more than we do our own women. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can be like, yeah, hold my bro down, my bro, you know.
Bros before hoes.
Yeah, bros before
They
hoes.
calling us hoes.
Yeah, that mentality, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you had that same energy and put that into your woman, I don't think there'll be lack of problems. That loyalty you talking about that you have with your homeboy and all of that, and you apply that to your woman, we won't have these problems.
Exactly. If men knew what their real function is, all of this would be different. And
Yeah.
if women knew what their function is, all of this would be different. And if we knew what to expect from each other, we wouldn't accept less than
Right.
that. And that goes into self-love. Like, self-love is kind of like the tip of this huge, everything trickles down. So you have women who, a lot of women are, I won't even say it like that. I don't want to say it like that. But we go into relationships and sex is not even like, sex is a given when you meet somebody at this point. It's kind of like we ain't even getting to know each other. We just getting comfortable enough to get to the sex.
Yeah.
And why would you give yourself up for nothing? Like, you ain't prove you to him, he ain't prove you to you, but y'all swapping DNA, risking each other's sexual health, risking bringing a child into a life with no foundation. Like, y'all don't even really know each other. And I'm not judging because I've been there. I have 2 children and I've never been married. So I'm not pointing my finger or looking down at anybody. But I think a lot of this will be fixed if we stop being so casual about everything. It's nothing casual about sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing casual about your energy. And I think a lot of men, especially, I've been hearing men say like, oh, you know, like, what is your aim with your social media? First of all, I'm willing to lead the single woman march. I'm willing to do that. And it's not from me being bitter or from me being angry. It's from me wanting to share my peace and wanting to share my clarity. Like, there was a time in my life where it didn't take much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had my needs and my needs came before everything. So I need sex right now. I want a sexual relationship with you. So there are no real requirements to have me at this point because I want sex. And that's how I got my feelings hurt. That's how I played myself. That's how I disrespected myself. So me going from being so loose about who I am, I don't play like that no more. And it's not because I'm mad, it's because I'm smart. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and because I did work, like, I'm not casual about who I share my energy with. Period. It's valuable. And I charge for that. So you can go to my site if you want my energy, dudes. My website is mymentor.life/Joanne Cuffy. But as far as you just coming into my life and bringing whatever you bring in, whether it's confusion, frustration, you can keep that. I don't want that. And like I said, it's not from me being mad or hurt. I just take myself seriously. And I should have been doing it a long time ago, but nobody taught me to.
Nice,
So,
nice. I agree. I agree. I agree. So it's like, just to touch bases on what you said. You said that physical interactions, or more so, people take them more so like a what you
a
said.
given.
It's a given.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they created the term intimacy, because it is an intimate situation. It's not casual, or it's just not.
No.
It's not. You know, it's not. It wasn't meant to be open for the public. It was just. It was intended for, you know, one-on-one, physical, spiritual elevation. You know what I'm saying?
And procreation. Let's not leave out the fact that sex has a function. And you can enjoy it or you can abuse it as well. And most of us choose to abuse. And it's a choice. You can stop. Like, I'm a very sensual woman. And because of my past, I adopted sexual practice as a way to cope with certain things. But without education, without guidance, it turned into practices and habits I had as an adult woman that ended me in a lot of situations that I had no business in. And so now that I am educated, now that I know who I am, what my purpose is, you're going to have to be a special type dude for me to share this with you. And I'm not even just talking about my body, but yeah, that too. But my energy, my love, like, I know what I'm doing. And like I said, like, a relationship is like a dance. we can step on each other's toes and look crazy and looking stupid. Everybody can see you looking stupid, or it could be smooth and it could be fun and it can look good. It can feel good. Everybody can feel the energy. But if we don't both know what we're doing, one, it's going to either take time for us to learn what we're doing, or it's just going to be a mess.
Thanks.
But we all have choices. And that's the thing with life coaching, is getting people to be accountable for them. Like, yes, you had a rough hand. You did. You know what I'm saying? I can't change that for you. You can't change that for you. But how you deal with it from today moving forward is your life. That's your destiny. You creating it.
Okay. So like, have you had any males that came to you like for some type of like motivation or any type of coaching?
Well, see, a lot of the men in my life, like my friends already, my cousins, they all come to me, for that. So it's not foreign to me. I don't have any male clients. I've had males inquire about coaching and stuff like that. But again, it's one of them things where if your pride is attached, it's not going to go that far. Like things like therapy, that's a tool. But you have to know what to do with it. You have to work it. You have to use it. So if you can't get in a situation or a setting and be honest with yourself about yourself, nobody can help you. And that's one of the misconceptions when it comes to therapy. We're scared because we think like they're going to get in our heads and rewire something. But these people don't know you. They ain't did no background check. All they can work with is what you give them to work with. So that's what I'm saying. If you're not going to be honest, if you're not going to be transparent, nobody can help you.
Okay. So from your POV, your point of view, explain how the average person may use their physical as leverage to get in what they want.
From my point of view,
like how, like pretty much like, because you're a woman,
mm-hmm.
like what goes through a woman's mind when that type of situation occurs, and what do you think can be done to pretty much like repair that train of thought?
I mean, that using your physical, I mean, let's be honest about attraction. That's important. That's the first thing people see. When they see you and they either like what they see or they don't, that don't mean that that's as valuable as you are. The size of your butt doesn't equate to your value, or, your physical doesn't equate to who you are. But unfortunately, that's just the way the human brain works. Like, we like what we see, we want more of it. So a lot of people who aren't the standard of beauty may get overlooked, but they could be a dope person, but you being superficial. And I'm not saying that looks don't matter. They matter only to a degree. It's just really what you after. But when women use their bodies, it's like a level of,
like what state of mind do you have to be in to be like?
It's a level of desperation. It's a level of needing validation. Like, let's just say what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say things to offend people. Like, I'm really trying to be careful with what I'm saying. But all of this is psychological. Like, it's in the mind, and it's safe to assume that what someone presents about themselves the most is what they value the most. So if it's your body, if it's your money, if it's your degrees, if it's whatever, that leads people to think like, so what else? Like, do you not have substance? Like, do you not have other things? Do you not have inner things that are valuable to you? Most people don't look that deeply into things, but that's the climate of, look at relationships. What's deep about it? Like, who's being deep? Who's being serious? Who's taking the time to say, like, you know what, like, you look good, but I don't like you. They just want a good look. So that's what they got. And they're miserable because somebody else's looks can't fix what's going on with you. Even with women, when they chasing dudes with money, that's not going to fix what's going on with you. That's his bank account. He might share some of that with you, but that's not going to help y'all. That's not going to help y'all connect. That's not going to help y'all stay connected. It's like divorce is divorce, and that's real. Failed relationships are failed relationships, and that's real. And it's not just for the poor, the rich, the attractive people go through it too. So we really all have to do the individual work on ourselves, or you're going to lose. That's just the reality. You're going to lose. And you might lose slow. It might take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years for you to break up, but you're going to lose. And not only are you going to lose peace and sleep, you're going to lose time. But you can save yourself some time by dating you. Date you first. Get to know what you like. That was one of the things that I dealt with dating. I've always been so go with the flow about everything that when it came to doing the things that I like to do, I didn't know what I like to do. Like, I like to chill, I like kickbacks, you know, I like to be with my family. But as I started to like get into myself, there are a lot of things that I like. Like, I love to paint. I don't love painting silks. You know what I'm saying? But I love to spend that time with myself in a zone, in a creative zone, using a part of my brain that I'm not using when I'm scrolling social media and I'm so heavily involved in everybody else's life and comparing myself to what they're doing and where they're going. It's like, I don't have a passport because I don't like to fly. So my dream trip ain't Bali. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could drive to Maryland though. I feel safe in a car. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but if you're on social media and you're being influenced by everybody, you would start to feel like, maybe I need a Benz. Maybe I need designer. Maybe I need to go to the 5-star restaurants. And when I pulled away, when I unplugged from all of that, I was able to find me. It turns out like I'm a real simple person. I don't need a whole lot of that stuff, but I need your mind. I need your attention. I need your vulnerability. It's like, I need everything that's inside of you in abundance. I need all of that. But I did the work, so I could say that, and I can mean that, and it's not just a flex, and I'm not trying to say something that sounds good, like I really live this life. And I'm like the most single person I know. The most single, like, I don't do nothing. I don't date nobody. Like, nobody think we talking and kicking it. Like, I really spend a lot of time with myself, and I'm learning. I don't get bored. I always got something to do. I always got a video I saved and I need to go back and listen to. I always need to do homework or something I could be writing, finishing my book. It's always things for me to do that has nothing to do with nobody else. And I'm okay with it. Facts. Single is the safest place to be these days, by the way.
Facts. So, like, you said you're writing a book, right?
Yes.
What's your book about?
My book is about self-mastery. And when I say self-mastery, that's all things self. That's self-preservation. That's self-actualization. That's self-control. That's self-belief. That's even self-talk when it comes to, oh, men ain't nothing, all men cheat. If that's what you believe, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be the simple things, but my book is about self-mastery. And I just really take people, it's almost like I'm bringing therapy to everybody in the comfort of their own home and in the comfort of their own mind. So if you're scared and you don't really want to go and talk to somebody, or you ashamed, I'm really trying to create that space just for you at your own pace. And it's all about you. So it's a guide. It's not just a book. Like, it'll have definitions, because that's another problem. People ain't even clear on what they're talking about. Everybody got definitions, different definitions of real and gangster. Everybody a gangster, everybody a boss. Like, you're not employing nobody. You're not a boss. You're not a gangster. You ain't never did no time. But it's like, we all use these words however we want to. So a focus in my book is to have definitions so that you're clear on what I'm trying to get you to understand. It'll also be where you can, where I help people create affirmations that they could use for their real desires. And there's a section where I'm kind of helping people get clear on the law of attraction, because it's real, it's a law, it operates whether you recognize it or abide by it or not. But when you think of the law of attraction, most people think like, oh, I want a Lamborghini, I want a Lamborghini. And it's like, that's not even what that's for. Like, sure, you can manifest physical things, but it's about manifesting your desires. So if I hear you say you want a Lamborghini, you probably just want to look lit.
Yeah.
You probably just want to stunt.
You know,
You
it's
probably
crazy.
just want to flex. And there's a lot of other feelings underneath that where maybe you didn't get that validation growing up. Maybe you weren't affirmed. So you feel like now if you get the money, you can get everything else you want, but that's not a desire. But when you get to your real self and start dealing with who you really are, once you align with your purpose, once you align with yourself, you're going to be a money magnet. You know what I'm saying? It's like, then you can get the Lamborghini, but you got to deal with you first. You can't be in the hood talking about a Benz.
Yep.
You skipping steps. But anyway, that's the basis of my book. It's going to be like a guide, like a workbook, as well as me sharing some personal experiences just to drive it home. But that's the basis. I ain't going to give out the title yet, but self-mastery is the concept.
Okay. So like how, like, are you almost done with it? Or how much you got left?
I got a lot left. And it's because once I'm writing and I feel like I'm sounding like an author and I'm like getting wordy, it's like I don't want people to get caught up on the words that they can't really soak up the message. So I'll back away. Like, it's not anything that I got to get done by this time. It's got to be right, especially because of the purpose of the book. It ain't a tell-all. So I don't, it has a real purpose for each individual person. And that takes time. And even as I'm growing and evolving, I change my position about the book, or, I add things that I feel like are necessary. I take some things that I feel like, maybe we ain't ready for that conversation. So, and also, because this book is purpose filled, it's for the people, but I also look at it like my gift to God. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if you've ever heard like of royalty or how they deal with each other. Like when a king meets another king, he try to outdo him. Like, I'm gonna give you the biggest gift you can imagine. And what that does is put pressure on the other king, like, you ain't finna outdo me, so I'm about to give you 10 times that. So I feel like this is my gift to God for his presence in my life and just my experiences in life. It's like I'm wholeheartedly thankful for everything I've been through, everything I'm gonna go. I see it clearly and I'm thankful for that. So this is about me giving him myself back. And I that part I take seriously. So yeah, it's gonna help people, but I gotta come correct. And that's not a small thing to me. That's serious business. So, one step at a time.
Okay, nice. Okay, so what I like to do, well, actually, I ain't gonna say I like to do. We're gonna start it with this particular episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use a word that pretty much like categorize this whole conversation.
Okay.
And then give a definition of it, and then you and myself will use it in a complete sentence.
Okay.
So this is help. Yeah, so it'll help, expand the vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Today's word is called inclination.
Inclination.
INCLINATION. Yeah.
Inclination.
The synonym is love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the definition is a person's natural tendency or urge to act or feel in a particular way, a disposition or propensity.
Propensity.
Yeah, that word. So Let me see. How can we use that in a sentence? I've never heard this word in my life.
I am familiar with the word. I don't necessarily say inclination more than I say inclined, like I'm inclined to, which is like my disposition. I naturally would do this or something like that.
Okay. So I would say, I got one. I have an inclination for writing books.
For writing books.
In other words, I got a love for writing books.
Right. Do I have to say inclination?
Yeah, that's the word.
I have an inclination to help people realize their full self. Yeah, that's my whole inclination.
Okay, we'll take that. So, like, what are your goals for the rest of 2020? I know 2020 has been very chaotic and it's been difficult for us all. Like, what do you expect from yourself, or what do you plan on doing as far as your goals pertaining to your business?
Well, I do want to be finished with my book. I actually took a lighter load this semester just so I could dedicate time to doing that. I may not meet the deadline that I put on it, but I'm okay with that as long as I keep, making time to get it done. I definitely want more clients. I'm not yet ready to up my price. I could, but I don't want to lose some of the clients I already have. And then I don't want to make myself out of reach for certain people, especially when, you gotta want to talk real bad to book a session. Like that's deep. Last year, and I'm gonna just put this out in the universe, maybe it'll put some pressure on me to do it. So last year, September 19th, 2019, which is special numbers to me, 9/19/19, I was standing in my kitchen washing dishes, and I was listening to a lecture from Zig Ziglar. He's like one of my favorite motivational speakers. Everybody should give it a try. Got a funny voice and he's great at storytelling, so he's like an easy listen. But I was listening to him, and at that time, I kept trying to figure out, like, what do I want to do with myself? It's like I could do hair. Like, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. That's what I do. I do makeup. I didn't went and got my mixology certification. Like, I'm a bartender. Like, I just do too many things. But it's like, what do I want to do? And so he said in the video, he was like, figure out what it is that you love. He said, not something that's going to make money. Don't focus on the money. What is it that you love? And I said, it hit me. And I was even emotional about it because I'm like, for the first time, I felt like, okay, this is what I love. And I was like, I love to write and I love to talk. And I had my little moment or whatever. And then I Googled the meaning of 1919. And it was kind of like self-actualization. And the whole process to me was just meaningful. And so I said, a year from today, I'm going to have my first speaking engagement. So September 19, 2020 is the day, and I believe it's on the Saturday. I don't remember. But I kind of let that goal get away from me. But where the space I'm in now, even if it's not a speaking engagement, it could just be something where I bring people together for the purpose of themselves and just connecting and like-minded people who actually want to grow, and maybe they feel safer in groups. So I don't know if that would be like art therapy or, just something to connect with people. But those and my body goals that, I'm trying to look like how I'm trying to look for the year out. But yeah, it ain't nothing too grand that it can't happen. It's very attainable for me. But yeah, I don't want a whole lot. I just want to keep growing. I respect the space that I'm in. I respect the process of my own evolution. So I'm not in a rush for anything at this moment. And that's why I sleep like a baby at night, because my goals aren't attached to nothing, nobody. I can see everybody winning and I'm genuinely happy for them. Like my time is coming, I'm building mine, I'm working for mine. And that's just how I see life. Like I'm all the way chilling, all the way chilling. So thank God for that.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, like, when it's all said and done, how do you want to be? How do you want to be remembered?
Legacy. I want to be remembered for love. That's literally, I really want to leave a legacy of love. And I remember when I was going through like a tough time, and I listened to one of my favorite speakers by the name of Louise Hay. And she's kind of like more into like metaphysics, new thought philosophy. Maybe that's new concepts to people, but it's worth listening to, like positive speaking and stuff like that. And like my heart was a little broken. I was feeling sad. And when I listened to her, like her voice alone just made me feel good. And her message was like so enriching. And I remember saying to myself, like, I want to be Black Louise Hay. You know, like when women are hurting and people looking for the answers, I really want them to think about me. I really want them. And she's passed, you know, God rest her soul. But it's like, even now, she still reach me in a level where it's like when I'm dead and gone, I want to leave that same impression on other women, other people in general. So just love, just positivity, self-acceptance, and all of that is just love, just pure love.
Okay. So, like, if anybody wants to book a session, if they want to reach you, they want to get quotes, they want to inquire about your book when you're ready or whenever, how can people get in contact with
Um, Instagram, my handle is Joanne_Cuffee. So that's JOANN_CUFFEE. Also for Facebook, first and last name, Joanne Cuffee. And if they want to book me for a coaching session, they can find me at mymentor.life/Joanne Cuffee. Same spelling.
you? Okay, cool.
That's all I got right now.
Okay.
I have no other social medias. Like I'm not even that great with social media yet, but I'm growing, and I'm just getting more comfortable with being available to people. I live a really, really private life, and that's my comfort zone. Like I don't mind living under a rock, but I can't serve people if they don't know that I'm in the business of service. So I'm having to step out of my comfort zone, but when it's purposeful, you do what you got to do.
Like one thing, like I was looking at your page, I was like, she should start posting like, you know what I'm saying, positive affirmations every day.
I have those.
Like if you
I see, I send, when I speak to my clients based on the issue, I'm like, I'm gonna send you some affirmations after this. And I'm all about those affirmations because that's how you counteract negative thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even just about, like when people say you have to control your thoughts, like that ain't just advice. Like that's law. Like you have to. You literally have to. And so for a while, I was just thinking like how though? Like everybody keeps telling you what to do, but they don't tell you how. They don't go into detail. So that's another thing my book will help people to create affirmations that work for them, who they are, where they're trying to get to. But yeah, when you feeling a certain way, if you're feeling down or you just keep replaying something negative, boom, you got them affirmations. And a lot of people, successful people like Bob Proctor and people like that, they keep affirmations on them. Like they literally write them on note cards so it's readily available, just to keep their mind where it needs to be at all times. So I ain't done that yet. I need to. I keep saying I'm gonna do it because sometimes the wrong things creep up in my mind and I just be needing, but I kind of remember them, but I still want to be able to see them.
Like
Because when
even
you
if
know what you want, you can see what you don't want real clear.
facts. Even if you like record yourself saying it, I think that it's a good way of connecting with your peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just doing it like once a day, once or twice.
Yeah. I mean, it really should. When you think about all the years that it took you to become who you are, it takes that much more effort to undo a lot of that stuff. So changing your beliefs and your thoughts and all of that, it's a matter of repetition and time, and none of us can escape that. It's not a magic pill. Like I tell my clients that when they call me, I can't make you feel better. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that, but I could change the way you think about what you're going through. You still got to do the work though.
Yeah.
So things take time, and we have to learn to accept that and do it anyway. Like you're not gonna get in the gym and see abs tomorrow. It just don't work like that. But repetition, consistency will get you there, and it's the same with the mind. It's a muscle.
Okay. So any last words? Anything you would like, anything that's on the mind you would like to elaborate on? You got the whole floor. Anything. Any questions or anything like that?
My main thing with people is to just not be so casual about who you are. Like that's literally the theme of life. It's like you are serious business. Like your goals are serious business, your dreams. Just get serious about everything about you. And like even there's a phrase where it's a little thing I picked up that was like butterflies don't hang with caterpillars. And what that means is in order to get to that level of being a butterfly, you have to go into a cocoon. You have to get in there with yourself and do some real serious work, and you come out even more beautiful and with new capabilities. Like you can fly now. What you doing on the ground? You know what I'm saying? Hanging with the caterpillars, you don't do that no more. So I'm saying all of that to say, like, just be serious about your growth and your elevation. Be intentional about it. Be intentional about the people you let into your life, into your space. Like we forget, we don't give enough attention to the spirit world. That's real. Like when we talk about energy, like you can call it whatever you want to, but it's real. The same way with gravity is like, we don't recognize it. We don't even really appreciate it, but it's happening all the while. And whether you pay attention or not, if you jump out that building, you're going to hit the ground. So just be intentional about everything. Is this good for me? Is this going to help me get to where I'm going? And you're going to lose friends. You know, like even a snake got to shed its skin. Like that just happens when you're growing. So just be serious about who you are and where you're going. And I mean, you can't go wrong doing right.
That's
That's
right.
it.
One thing I can say, man, you fire with them damn analogies.
Hey.
She's like the snake even sheds and all that. I'm like,
Damn.
okay, cool. You fire with them analogies, man.
You know what I'm saying? But you gotta,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. And you know what? I do want to say this part because I recently on my own gave my life to God. And when I say that, that's not to say that I wear long skirts now and I'm in the church every Sunday, because I'm not a church goer. But when I say I gave my life to God, that means I hold myself to a godly standard now. And just doing that alone changed everything for me. And I just don't want people to forget that part. Is like, it's not about, like, you could keep it real without being profane and, you know, without being vulgar. You could have the nicest things in the world without being a drug dealing rapper and all of these negative things to do so. Like if you really just let God do what he been trying to do for you, you will be surprised where you could be in a short time. But it's all in your mind. Like when they say repent, that just means renew your mind, do things differently. And literally just start there. So don't discount God. Don't be so chasing things and money that you neglect self. your real self, not the one that you convince yourself to be, or the one that you think is the better version of you, the true you. And that takes silence and the noise. Like, you have to go into that cocoon to become a butterfly. And even that's God's creation. So I just want people to keep God first. Like, and I hate to be, because I can't believe, for real, like, honestly, I cannot believe that I say these things, but I live it for real, and it's the best decision that I've made. I'm still me. You know, my jokes don't hit the same without them F-bombs. They just don't. I'm figuring how to still get them jokes off without the cuss words. But I mean, I'm more of me than I ever been, and I give God all the glory for that. And that's real. So God is cool. Y'all need to get serious about yourself and give him some time, which is giving yourself some time, clearing out the distractions, and just making yourself available for your blessings. You have to align, like, the universe don't give you what you want, it give you what you deserve. Period.
Right. Period.
I just had to put that in there.
Period. Man, you make me feel bad. I know I cursed a few times in this interview.
No, it's okay. You just letting the devil use you. It's all right.
Damn, man. I said another one, but damn.
See?
My fault.
I'm not judging. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to shine lights on the dark areas.
Okay. I'm gonna work on it though. Like I always said that I was gonna work on my cursing. I was trying to use different words or like nouns and stuff to describe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna work on it. All right, you know, I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, taking the time out. This is a good interview. I like to do a part 2 because I have some other stuff I want to touch bases on, kind of pick your brain with it. You know,
Okay.
maybe we can get that scheduled in whenever you're free. I know you're busy.
I'll have my people call your people, because I'm going to play. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Thank you.